If you just clicked on today's video, it was not clicked on by accident. With that being said, generational poverty ends with us and generational wealth starts with us. Man, what's good, YouTube, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Reese in the Cut. I'm a 21-year-old content creator from Illinois. If you guys do not know who I am, in today's video, we're just gonna be going over why does generational poverty end with us and why does generational wealth start with us. Because I do believe we are the new age, the new era, man. We're the new era, man. It's a new time. Like, we're gonna be going over some real reasons of why generational poverty is gonna end. Why it ends with our generation. Why we have to be the chosen ones. You know what I'm saying? So before we get into the video, I need y'all to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know if you guys keep messing with the videos. Y'all always mess with the videos. And also, just to throw this out there, I just launched a channel membership. So I'm not sure how you guys like completely join it. I'm still new to it. I think you guys can just click on my page and press join community and this and that. So if you guys want to get extra access to the channel, this and that, have like talks, debates, and all that, I did launch a membership. So with that being said, let's hop straight into the video, right? So of course, y'all can tell by the title of the video, generational poverty ends with us, right? So of course, what causes generational poverty, right? Let's start off with that first. Lack of resources and lack of knowledge. Okay? So a lot of times generational poverty comes from just like the lack of resources. You know what I'm saying? Like, you already have like, you're okay. Some of you watching this video maybe live in lower circumstances or lower income communities. So a lot of us have been through generation of poverty and lack of resources. With that being said, like when you're in poverty, you're not shown like a lot of resources. Like, what do I mean by like resources? Just like maybe good schools, maybe like businesses or anything. Like, of course, what are they putting a lot of lower poverty communities? You know, just like stuff like liquor stores, EBT stores, like just a lot of things that just keep us down, right? Keep us in that mindset of getting free assistance from like the government, all that. Not saying there's nothing wrong with it, but that's just what's in lower income communities. You know what I'm saying? So, and like lack of knowledge, right? Maybe that's like not knowing how to start a business, where to start a business. You know, people in the community who can help you start a business, just things like that, right? Because everybody, 9 out of 10, when you live in, like when it's a generational curse or like a generational like poverty, like everybody's on the same stuff. Everybody's doing the same thing over and over again, right? With that being said, like probably just working like a 9-to-5 job. Like you probably got everybody in the community probably just works a day job. Everybody doing the same thing. No one's taking no risk. Not like everybody's doing the same stuff. So everybody's just going through the same stuff, right? No one's getting out the hole. So that's what I feel like causes a lot of generational poverty, just lack of resources and just lack of knowledge, not knowing where to start, where to go, how to start, and not having the things to start when, like, even if you had the mind set to do what you needed to do, not even having the resources to get where you need to get to, right? So what do we have to start doing in order to like really like start to break these generational poverty cycles, right? So we need to go against generational beliefs. What is a common generational belief that keeps a lot of us down in the same mentality and the same places? I feel like the #1 biggest generational belief that a lot of people tell you, and this is not just a black thing, this is an all-American thing. So 9 times out of 10, you probably had parents that just tell you, go to school your entire life, try to go to college. When you get out of college, after you spend probably about 4 to 8 years in college, come out of college, get a good job. I mean, get a degree, get a good paying job, and just take care of your family, right? No, I feel like we gotta. That's creating more generational poverty. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand why families continue to tell each other this. Because 9 times out of 10, a lot of us don't end up finishing school, right? A lot of us ended up after the high school diploma, a lot of us don't end up going to college. So I feel like we got to go against the grain, right? I feel like we got to stop just saying, oh, just go to school, this and that. You know, that's the norm. You can't get rich. You can't get out of your circumstances by going to school your whole life just to go to more school, just to get a good paying job, just to provide for your family. You really can't get rich off that. You really can't create generational wealth. You're adding on to the problem. Not saying that you're going to be in poverty or anything, but you're just you're not able to lead a rat race that way. What is the rat race? Just infinite working, infinite, like, you know what I'm saying, paycheck to paycheck, da 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 da. You really can't leave the rat race just doing that same cycle. And I feel like that's probably the biggest one out of them all. You know what I'm saying? Another example of just generational poverty is simply like, you know what I'm saying, maybe going to jail, you know, doing drugs, this and that, like, you know, just the whole 9 yards of that, you know, just messing up your life. That's probably the easiest way for generational poverty. It's just like making bad mistakes, bad decisions. But the one that we can be control over, like, just stop telling your kids, oh, just go to school and get a good job and da da da. No, we need to be telling people, like, we gotta start taking risks. We have to start taking risks. But not to kind of get off topic, right? So doing the normal things that will not get you out the rat race, right? I feel like that's what's added on to generational poverty. You know, and generational poverty doesn't mean like you have to be in lower income communities. Just like literally just not being able to afford certain things, be in certain tax brackets. Okay, that's generational poverty. You know what I'm saying? We want generational wealth. Okay, so man, don't even get me started on that concept, because I'm not gonna lie, I would never be the type of dude to tell my kids, look, you need to go to school your whole life to do more school and then just to work for another man and to tell them how much that you're worth, or that how much you make, and just for them to be back in the same rat race as everybody else. I'm sorry, I can't tell my kids something like that one day. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say it starts with us, because we know better. We know that's not what gets us out of a 9 to 5. We know that's not what gets us rich. So why would we keep going against it? Why would we keep doing it? We gotta go against the grain, right? You know what I'm saying? It's as simple as that, bro. Like, generational poverty was been supposed to leave. It's the fact that we keep telling our children the same thing, and they're telling their children, because people are only going to go off of what they know. You ever been a young boy and your mom told you, let's say you asked for something that was expensive, right? And your mom told you, oh no, we can't afford that. We don't have enough money for that. And as a kid, you probably believe that because you're a kid. You don't know any better. So when you're going off of whatever your parents tell you, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's say you saw an expensive car and like, hey mom, why don't you drive that car? And she probably say, well, I can't afford that car. And you be like, oh dang. So you got in your mind like, dang, we can't afford nice things like that. Also, generational poverty is off of mindset as well. A lot of people don't know this, but a lot of people are still in a lot of people are repeating the cycle because it's a mindset thing. A lot of people who are like in like poverty or stuff like that, they tell their children, we can't afford this. We don't have money for this. We're poor. It's only a mindset. Change your mindset. Change your kids' mindset. Because your kids are believing what you're saying as well, because they're young. They don't know any better. Right? I remember a couple times, you know what I'm saying, like my parents told me, oh, we can't afford that, we can't do this and that. As a kid, I'm like, damn, we can't afford that, right? But as I grew up, I started to see, and I started to, you know what I'm saying, find out for the word of my own. Now I will never say there's nothing I can't afford. You're always supposed to tell yourself that there's none in this world that you cannot afford, right? You can afford anything on this planet. If God put it on this planet, then you can afford it. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, the mindset, your mindset, it's a big thing to have. In order to break a generational curse, you have to tell yourself that you're gonna break that generational curse. You gotta tell yourself that I'm not going through the same thing that my parents are gonna go through, and stick to it. Put it out there into the universe that, okay, I seen my parents struggle. That's not gonna happen to me. A lot of people see just because their parents struggle that they're gonna struggle. If you believe that, then you're gonna struggle, right? We gotta get out that mindset. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so stepping out the box, trying new strategies, okay? We already know the norm. Like we said, you go to school your whole life, you go to school some more, just to get a degree and work behind another man. First off, I'm gonna tell y'all one thing about that concept. So why do I not like that concept so much? Right? Because life is too short for that concept. When we put in this world, we don't get into kindergarten until what, about 5 years old? I think I was 5 years old in kindergarten. We already don't get into some kids don't get into kindergarten until they're 6. All right. I guess that's when your life is like started. I guess when you're like conscious or something like that, when you're in kindergarten or something like that, right? So we already don't get into kindergarten until we're about 6 years old. We don't graduate high school until we're about 17, 18. You don't graduate college until you're about 23 or 24, maybe 22, 21 through 24, somewhere around that. And some people do even more years in school. Some people might graduate at 26. Who knows? Life is already so short. You just took a big time span to do a whole lot of nothing. Right? You just spent from 5 years all the way to 25. You spent 20 years of your life already in school just for you to work behind another man. You kidding me, bro? Just to be in the same rat race as everybody else. Life is too short for the dream, for the American dream that your parents or your grandparents or your great grandparents tried to sell you. Life is too short. We really don't have another 20 years to spend on this earth to try to be going through all the same thing that they went through. So you telling me that I have to listen to a professor who doesn't own a business for him to tell me how to create a business, and he doesn't have a business of himself? So I have to pay $70,000 for another man to sit in front of me and tell me how to do something when he has not done it. That's crazy to me. So and like I said, life is too short, and it doesn't take all of that. It really doesn't. Like the stuff that the older generation has told us, literally to go to school and then find a good job. It does not take that all. It doesn't take that long, right? Now you can be that person who goes along with everybody, does the norm, goes to school for all his life, just to work behind another man and still be in the rat race. Or you could be that guy who invests in himself, may fail a couple times, but he's always gonna get back up. He always gonna keep trying, and he may just get that win and have half of the time span of what the normal person just did, who's gonna be doing the same thing for the rest of their life. I don't know about y'all, but I'm gonna be that guy on the left side who's gonna take the risk. Besides that guy on the right side who's gonna do what everybody else doing. He may not make it out of the job world. Because mind you, you've trained your brain for 20 years to get that certain degree. You're not gonna want to leave that certain job certification that you just picked. You're not gonna want to do that. If you spent 20 years doing something, if you spend 20 years to be a teacher and you become that teacher, you're never gonna want to leave, because you feel like you put so much time and effort into it. You feel like, damn, bro, this is my life. But that it didn't get you rich. You spent 20 years doing something that's not gonna get you rich. I'm just being honest. On the other hand, I might spend 5 years doing something that may set me up for the rest of my life. Remember, no risk, no story. You can do what everybody else do. You can live a normal life. You can, and your kids will watch you do the same thing, and they'll repeat the same cycle, right? Or no, you could take the risk, create generational wealth, and generational poverty ends with you. You know how good that's gonna feel when you can say, I broke the curse and I put my kids on the game too, right? Because a lot of times your kids watch you as well. So that's the whole process of the repeating cycle. Your kids watching you. Man, take the risk, dog. With that being said, in 2025, in order to be successful, like really be successful and really get rich, you have to take some type of risk. There's no way around it. There's no way that you can go to school your whole life, get a job behind another man, and get rich. There's no way at all. You gotta take some type of risk. And I got a quote for you guys, right, on why you should take that risk. Coming from generational poverty. Because a lot of us who watching this video come from generational poverty. I come from generational poverty, you know what I'm saying? Right? So the quote I got for you guys is, you can't bury what comes from the dirt. Let that sink in. I'm gonna say that one more time for y'all. You can't bury what comes from the dirt. What does that mean? You have nothing to lose. If you fail, get up and try again. Cause you already come from the struggle, my dog. You already come from the dirt. We already come from the dirt. We already come from the hustle, the grind. We come from the rat race. 9-to-5 jobs. People who don't have businesses, people who don't have resources, people who don't have knowledge. What do we have to lose? What you scared of somebody laughing at you as you failed, dog, because you tried to get rich? You tried to do something to set yourself up for the rest of your life? You scared somebody gonna laugh at you, bro? So what? They not doing nothing. They taking the easy way out, bro. They going to school their whole life and just to come out here and work and still be in debt. They still can't pay their bills. They did 100 million years in school and they still can't pay their bills, bro. Man, take that risk, dog. You already come from the dirt. You can't bury it, bro. No cap. You already from the mud. What you got to lose? You ain't got nothing to lose, bro. That's just my opinion, bro. That's my opinion on taking risks, bro. You already come from the bottom of the bottom, so you know what the bottom of the bottom feel like. Get back up, try it again. No cap. So, and also, don't look at the possibility. Don't look at the possibility of what if it doesn't work. Look at the possibility of what if it does work, right? There's always a possibility once you take that risk. Yes, there's a possibility that it may not work, but what if it does, bro? Now what you gonna say? Now what people gonna say? It's gonna be people in your ear telling you, bro, I ain't gonna lie, dog. It sounds good and all, but I don't think you should do that. Those are the same people who will be doing the same thing for the rest of their life, right? Listen to yourself. Bet on yourself. Gamble on yourself, because nobody else gonna do it. You may bring up the craziest idea to somebody, and they may say, I ain't gonna lie, dog. It sounds good and all, but I don't think you should do it. Eliminate people like that from your life as well, bro. You got to get people like that away out of your life. Take that risk, man. I ain't gonna lie. 2025, 2026, the rest of our lives, bro, we gotta start taking risks. That's the only way that we gonna beat generational poverty. I'm gonna tell you why generational poverty keeps going on, because no one is willing to step up and take that risk. Everybody's scared of failing. Everybody's scared of getting laughed at. So everybody's gonna say, "Oh, I'm just gonna do what my mom and dad did. I'm just gonna go to school my whole life, get a job, raise my kids, barely make it by, and throw them out to the world." They do the same thing. Nobody want to take the risk. Everybody too comfortable. Everybody want to be comfortable. Everybody want to be spoon fed from another man from another job who can cut you off at any point in time in their life. Everybody want to be spoon fed, but it's cool though. It's cool. Some people gonna listen to this video, some people not. Somebody gonna take the risk. Somebody gonna keep being in the rat race. Simple as that. That's how it always goes. So a lot of things that we were taught takes too much time as well. It takes too much time. I feel like if you take the risk, put all your work into that craft, trust God, have faith, and you could do it, man. You could probably do your passion, dog, about 2 to 5 years tops. If you really lock it down, really lock in, you probably do that shit 2 to 5 years tops, no cap. With infinite success, infinite riches, bro. Self-made as well. Mind you, you self-made too. Not made from no degree, not made from another man. You're not worried about nobody putting no money in your hands. You self-made. Remember that. And last but not least, dog, do it. Even if you don't make it, at least you die doing what you love. A lot of people in this world, they die just doing what everybody else did. Working and working and working and working and working. The same thing, bro. A lot of people just went through this life, dog, wasted a whole lot of time, didn't do anything, didn't take no risk. They wasted their time, dog. Our purpose wasn't to be put on this earth to go to school our whole life, get a job, and just pay bills. You wasted your time. You wasted your life. Take a risk, bro. Be somebody in this world. When you leave this world, you should want to be somebody, right? Don't be that person. And that's no risk also equals regrets. Right? I know a lot of older people who tell me all the time, they be like, man, if I just would have put my all into this or that, bro, I would have been some, dog. Regret. That'd be that regret. They didn't take the risk. They didn't chase it. They gave up. They got lazy. You know what I'm saying? You got too used to another man just putting a small little paycheck in their hand and they just feeding their family, taking the easy way out. Don't be that person, bro. Grind your ass off and stop trying to take the easy way out. That's how we gonna end generational poverty. And remind you, bro, we got the internet. The internet is our biggest friend. A lot of you guys are not using the internet to your advantage. A lot of generational poverty kept going on because those people, they didn't have the internet either. We have the internet, our worst enemy and our best friend, but it should be our best friend. This is the easiest place to come make money off of, bro. Easiest, bro. No cap. I am a witness. It's crazy. Use the internet to your advantage. Not just content creating, but use it to start businesses, gain information, gain knowledge. You guys should be on this app learning. You guys should be on these apps learning something new every single day. That's how we gonna stop generational poverty, and that's how we gonna gain generational wealth. Use the internet, bro. This stuff that y'all this cell phone that y'all using to scroll every day, no cap, dog. This is what's really supposed to get us out and really supposed to take us out. Everything that we need to know is on these cell phones and technology devices. So with that being said, man, hope y'all enjoyed the video, y'all. Hope I can motivate y'all to really. I want you guys to just take that risk. It could be small, it could be big, bro, but sometime in 2025, I want everybody who's watching this video to take some type of risk. And I want you guys to DM me on Instagram, come back to this video, do what you gotta do. And say when you took that risk, tell me how it impacted your life. Whether it was negative, whether it was positive. I just want to know that you guys took a risk. Because there's too many people that's afraid that I don't know why they're afraid. I mean, I get why you're afraid, but we can't afford to be afraid. Remember that. The next time you don't want to take a risk, you tell yourself, I can't be afford not to want to take a risk. Alright? Because we don't have nothing to lose. Remember, you can't bury what's already in the dirt. We already come from the bottom of the bottom. So what you afraid of, dog? No cap. So I love y'all, man. I'll be back with more content. Y'all know I love this, man. Hey, ski!